Good day. How are you? Amazing. Oh yeah, truly, truly amazing. So, have you ever found yourself wanting to get something and find yourself traveling far to get it? What's that about? Or, let's flip that. Have you ever wanted something and paid more to have it? Is that insane? Oh no, my loves. It's convenience versus service. Let's think about that. Convenience versus service. That is what we're talking about today. Cha-ching! What we're willing to pay for and what we're willing to do without. So some of those types of things can be, for example, you may choose a store location over another store location. You may choose a particular type of service knowing you'll pay more than going somewhere else, right? You know that old saying, you get what you paid for kind of thing. I always find that, like, sometimes I'll do something and if I try to skimp, because you know I'll be a frugal fanny. I will be a frugal Fannytasticlife. And let's say I skimp and then I kick myself like, dang it, you get what you paid for. I knew I should have spent a little more kind of thing. But not in all cases. I'll tell you, in my old town, I loved all the shops by me. But I would drive out of the way. An additional 10, 15 minutes to go to Bravo for fresh produce. Something about Bravo and the produce. Every single Bravo I've ever been to, and shout out to Bravo. Bravo supermarkets. Something about their produce, their green peppers, their avocados, their onions are amazingly fresh and ready to go. And I've never, ever in my life been to a Bravo where they didn't have fresh produce. It was just the craziest thing. Not that other stores don't have, because then again, I would only buy those things there and I would buy other things elsewhere. Like specific meats, I go somewhere else. Or like, even, this is going to sound crazy, but matzah. I only buy a specific brand of matzah that is a little bit more costly than other brands because I just like the way it is. Now, we do this all the time. When I worked in the city, I was like, I would walk in the city, come off the train, I would go get my latte, my venti. I'm just gonna say it. People. I will get my triple venti non-fat latte with no foam. Thank you. With 2 sweet loaves. That's what I always get. I mean, maybe $5, $6 later, I could have just gotten a cup of coffee from a regular neighborhood bodega, but I wanted that drink. Why? The bodega, they had friendly service. Something about that. That's called status quo. That's a difference. Are we talking about status quo today? Kind of. I love Starbucks. I used to work for Starbucks in 1997. In 1997, some of you were maybe babies, maybe not even born yet, okay? In 1997, I was a barista and a supervisor, and I was working in a restaurant that got bought over by Starbucks, and then I had to become a barista, and I was actually a friendly waitress there, and I became a barista, and I loved it. It was a culture change for me. I really didn't know that much about coffee, but I loved working in Starbucks, and since then I've always been a fan of Starbucks. Always. And because I have, some health conditions, I always get no sugar, non-fat, 2 sweet and low type drinks. Do you want caramel? No, I don't. I don't need any of those vanillas, nothing. Straight coffee. But if you ask me my preference of coffee, it's Café Bustelo. Hello, Café Bustelo. What I love to do, and this is going to sound crazy to some of you, is I will make my coffee. It doesn't matter what K-cup I use or what I brew. I will put a scoop of Café Bustelo in there. That's how I am. Back in the day, and I think that's because of my bodega growing up. I grew up like working in a bodega my whole life, and we use Café Bustelo. So maybe it's the flavor preference that I choose, but something about these status quos that we live with in our lives. I'll give you another example. So from that point, I would go to work, right? And then I would go to, I'm going to say this incorrectly, so please don't kill me, Petite Manger. or a Pret a Manger, right? Pret a Manger, whatever it's called, that store. And I would get a chicken pot, which has edamame, chicken, couscous, quinoa, and a little pat with a slice of a lemon. $5 for this 3-ounce meal. That's what I would have for breakfast. Then for lunch, I would get a $2 Frankfurter. A $2 Frankfurter. It would have to say Saborettes. It had to be one of those little umbrella Saborettes food carts for $2. And they had to have a lemon wedge in that water. That's why I knew it was authentic. Now, all of you are thinking, well, she mispronounced like 5 or 6 words. Yes, but we're not talking about my communication skills. We are talking about convenience over service, right? So in all these instances, I could have made a thermos of coffee. I could have did this. I could have brought my own lunch. And then for the $6 and $5 in the morning, $11 breakfast, and then to have a $2 lunch, who does that? Because I wouldn't get another cup of coffee. Later on, maybe I get a hot tea. You see what I'm saying here? Why do we do these things? Well, that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about service over convenience and the status quo after this break. So can you just sit tight? Talk to you in a minute. Welcome back. Who remembers that? Oh boy, just gave my age right there. Well, if you like certain actors and actresses, there's a particular actress named Emma Watson, and she was recently quoted saying, "Wearing unbranded and cheap clothes doesn't mean you're poor. Remember, you have a family to feed, not a community to impress." Wow, she speaks directly into the status quo piece of my service versus convenience, or convenience versus service conversation. Because the thing is, I'll give you the example. Y'all know I have a wardrobe that a lot of people, can't hold up against, and that's okay. I've been collecting my wardrobe for 20 to 30 years. Hello. And it's funny, some people say, "Fanny, are you gonna diet? Are you gonna lose weight?" If I lose weight, I can't wear my clothes. I'm not about to give up on these sizes, y'all. They range. But when it comes to the baggage and the luggage that I keep, my suitcases, I really never care about. Why? I'm not gonna drop money on a suitcase that's gonna flip-flap, hit the floor, get all damaged, maybe get lost. I'm not doing it. So I usually buy the cheapest suitcases. Even if I had $1 million, I don't think I would do it. I get the most, nonchalant looking, low-key bag. Sometimes when I travel, because sometimes I travel for business. Sometimes I wear a little duffel bag. And it was a free Victoria's Secret duffel bag at that. A duffel gym bag. And I don't go to the gym all the time. Or sometimes, or never, whatever. No judgment. But the bags. So I have lots of bags. Here's the thing. My favorite bag is from Banana Republic. It's a shoulder bag. And I love this bag. This bag is super duper comfortable. My second favorite bag is my bag from New York & Company. That bag cost me $20, but nobody would ever know how much it cost, and who the heck cares? But the bag that I seek is the Chanel quilted briefcase. That bag is like a $10K bag that I don't own. Now, the last Chanel bag I had was a hobo, and I gave it away. And that was a very expensive bag, and I gave it away. I do have regrets about that bag. But here's the point. The bags that cost me the most, my Michael Kors, my Coach, those bags. You notice I didn't mention Louis V, because there's still a spot that would like a Louis V, but I gave my last Louis V away, so I don't have a Louis V. If you want to make a collection plate, pass it around. But here's the thing, I'm not going to spend like that. You know what I'm saying? But my most loved and enjoyed bags are my cheap bags. They weren't the bags that cost a lot of money. And the Banana Republic bag I got because I used to work as a seasonal I used to work for the Gap, as anybody who knows. many years. And then when me and the Gap, when I was no longer working for the Gap, I was then a seasonal employee that would go during the holiday time, and I would work at the Gap. And then one or 2 years I worked at Banana Republic, okay? And then with my discount, I bought that bag. So you follow me, like discount savvy here. That's my favorite bag. Now, you may always see me with my Kate Spade. You may always see me with my Michael Kors. But those are my two favorite bags. And they're the cheapest, least expensive, great quality bags that I've had over time. And let me also mention, I worked at Banana Republic in 2009. That was the last time I worked for Gap. And again, I love the Gap. The Gap will always be in my heart for many reasons. But that was 12 years ago. That bag is still brand new. You understand? Like, I wear it. It has held up. It is great quality. You don't even know some of the things that I have from the Gap from 1998. The quality. Now, back in the day, people would come to the Gap and want to buy things. And I had a whole collection because I worked there. So that is a service. That goes into service. That's where I elevate what I'm buying because of the service and the status quo of having it. Now, the quality is amazing to this day. You can't tell me nothing about my long and lean jeans. Hello. But let's talk about it for a second. So there's certain things that I buy, like as I mentioned, my bathing suits. I used to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a bathing suit because I'm a big girl. So I was like, oh, I need this, I need that. I mean, $200 for a bathing suit. Now, I buy all my bathing suits. Hashtag Shein. Hello, I'm ready to be an influencer. I'm telling you, I spent $5 to $10 on a bathing suit, and they're amazing. They are amazing. You see what I'm saying there? Is it a convenience? Is it a service? Is it a status quo? Yeah, this would go to convenience of costs. So let's talk about it. In one of my classes I took in my post-grad, my master's, we learned about marketing, right? Supply and demand and convenience of cost. And which are you truly saving on? So the fabric is just as good and can hold up. I don't need to spend $200 for a specific brand of bathing suit, where I can spend a $5. So here, my convenience is the savings. Is it the service? Well, let's be honest. You may think that $200 bathing suit came with a full entourage of service. It did not. My Shein bathing suit, I get 100% customer respect, love, amazing loyalty, value for a $5 bathing suit. So I am a continuous customer now. Now I'm in it for longevity. You see what they did there? They turned around an opportunity to not only provide a good product, but great service at a great price. And that's my convenience to keep. So let's talk about those things. What is the status quo of walking into Bergdorf or Bloomingdale's and getting that $200 bathing suit, but then if it has a wire underneath and you know I'd be large, oof. I go back, it's like that. You think that service changes, and I'm not talking badly about them because I love those stores. I love, that feeling. I'll tell you, the other day, here I go, cutting myself up. The other day we went to the beach and I had an amazing time. I felt amazing. I was with my children. I get all high strung, but we had a great time. And then I went to the bathroom to change and I came out and my husband bought me a hat. We're at the beach. There is no specialty shop. It's just wherever he bought that hat. As soon as I saw that hat, I was like, Lord have mercy. This man knows who I am. Pretty woman walking down that street. Oh, he bought me a pretty woman hat. It wasn't polka dot, but it was a pretty woman hat. I was like, oh my God, yes. I want to walk into every store and be like, big mistake. I want to be like that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that is the scene from Pretty Woman where they tried her, and then when she has money, they then try to help her. Hello. That is, and if you're like me and you watch Pretty Woman, you've known you had that moment in the bathroom mirror and you're like, Pretty Woman. You know what I'm saying? You're there with me. You're there with me. Okay, so I wore that hat and I felt amazing. We were walking around, I took pictures. That hat brought it up a level. That hat was not expensive. That hat was truly inspiring for the moment. That hat was status quo. So here we go. Let's go back. That's not service. It was convenience, but it still provided status quo. So your status quo fluctuates. It fluctuates. It just does. It just does. People don't realize. You can have the status quo that you're seeking at low prices or at high prices, because now when you want specific things, like for example, sometimes my children want specific sneakers. These sneakers can cost $200-$300. That's just the style. And plus my sons don't have little baby feet. So if they want Nikes or if they want, Adidas, if they want specific Vans, you're talking from $50 to $200. They want it. So how do we make this happen? Well, I'll tell you, the status quo is they are not going to wear, regular brands anymore. And y'all know I grew up in the Lower East Side of Manhattan and we didn't have Walmart. But when we would go visit my grandparents in North Carolina, and we would go to Walmart, I was like, oh my God, we're going to Walmart. I would get so excited. I would get flooded with excitement, like, oh my God, Walmart. Because I didn't have that growing up. And so when me and my husband got married and we found out that there was a Walmart near us, we were so excited. How crazy is that? And it was like a level, Kmart. It was like one level above Kmart. Does Kmart even exist anymore? Who knows? We were just so excited. And so Walmart has their own brand, And One. And so my little son, he loves those sneakers. My oldest sons are like, no, we used to love them, but now we want Vans, Nikes, Converse, Adidas, And they want specific ones, like it has to be the LeBron and it has to be the Jordan. Those cost money. That is status quo service. That is, you want to wear that and you want people to see it. It's not just for your comfort, because sometimes you'll be uncomfortable. Like, I love Timberlands, but you can't walk a long time in them. And I'm sorry, Timberlands. I love you. I love my beef and broccoli, and I love my wheat. But like, that's a work boot. That's not for, like, let me jog over here, let me jog over there, or let me just look cute. Hello. So, that's a status quo service. That means you're paying for that price. You're expecting a certain level of service back. Let's go back to Starbucks. Let's go back. So if I'm just like, give me coffee and caffeine, that's one thing. But when I walk into Starbucks, I walk in with ingenue, an attitude, a fierceness, especially if I'm in New York. And if I'm going to Wall Street, I look amazing. And I walk in smelling amazing. And I'm like, give me my triple venti non-fat latte with 2 sweet loaves. No, thank you very much. My name is Fanny. Thank you. And if I'm with my friend, I say their name, but whatever. And then I go, Fanny, your drink. Here it is. And then I pick it up. And then I walk out holding my latte, hurtling over whatever's in front of me, making my way to where I gotta go, never spilling a drip of that precious gold. That is service status quo. That is specific service status quo. That is, you not only want the drink, you want the service, you want the status quo, you want to be the icon. That is like, I'm trying to think, Jessica Rabbit with the black hat with the white lining. That is that right there. That is not convenience. That is not. And you know what? I love Starbucks, even with an app. That is a level of service status quo. I love it both. See, I love them both. See, so here's the thing. You cannot be mad at convenience and service. It happens everywhere, right? So back to Walmart. I can buy 1,000 things in Walmart. I could buy the same 1,000 things in Target. Target. And the thing about it is sometimes I'm like, okay, let's go to Target. I feel great. Let's go to Target. And we go to Target. We have a great time. And if you're going to Target, you're buying one thing, but you're leaving with the cart of stuff. And you're like, wait a minute, what are all these things doing in here? But when you're in Walmart, you plan to fill that cart and you leave and you're like, save some money. It's different, right? But Target is like a treat. Walmart is like, we got to get these things down. Let's go. We have some errands to run. It's a little different. It's different. You can get the same thing there. It's funny. I went to a Target the other day. They had milk. It was $3.49. I went to Walmart. It was $3.29. It was 20 cents. 20 cents difference. But I will never buy milk in Target. I just won't. That's a lie. I did the other day. I'm lying to you. But I will try not to. Why? Because I want to save the 20 cents at Walmart. Is that crazy? 20? Who here is thinking about saving 20 cents? If you're like, Fanny, who really cares? I buy all my milk from Publix. Girlfriend, or I buy all my milk from Wegmans. You're on a different scale. Wegmans is complete service status quo. Do I need to repeat that? Because there, the milk is $4.10. Yeah, it's almost 90 cents more than what I got at Walmart. So, you have to really think about what you're doing. And now some of you are like, girl, you crazy. I buy my milk at the bodega, $1.69. Exactly. So you know who you are. These are called market segments. You are a demographic. You don't even realize it. You're part of a big picture where people are marketing towards you. Are you this spender at this service level, or are you this spender at this service level? Which are you? This is exactly their target brand or their target segment for their market that they're trying to advertise. Don't feel offended that you fall into certain categories, because that can flip either way. Sometimes you walk in and you can spend. Sometimes you walk in and you're like, not today. Just browsing. And both are okay. Because you understand your individual status quo. Don't be offended. Don't be offended by it. Just don't. And don't be offended by it. Don't. Understand that is your power. You understand? If you have $100 in your pocket and you choose not to spend it, and if you have $100 in your pocket and you choose to spend it and then take out an additional $100, both are okay. That's your spending limit. When you pass away, Lord knows you were given 3 things: birth, death, and taxes. So either way, you're going to come across all 3 at some part of your life. But when you pass away, everything that you've been spending on, your bags, your shoes, your lattes, your rent, your mortgage, will not come with you. That is just playtime here. Hey, little ones, let's get together and play Legos. Okay, Lego time is over. It's over. It doesn't exist after that. But is it okay while you're here? Yeah. Is it slightly vain and materialistic? Okay, sure, maybe. A little bit. I admit to it. That's what it is, but so what? That's what life is. Life is about trying new things, learning new things, understanding new things, liking new things, disliking new things. If it was so simple, everybody would have like mush with no flavor and water every day just for survival. We're not going to ever just do that for survival. There's nobody on this earth that does that just for survival. And those that do, someone's like, Hi, yeah, I'm listening to your podcast and I only do things for survival. Yet you have a cell phone, you're listening to my podcast. Or yet you have a device that you can hear a podcast from. So therefore, no. You have to be like from a specific time or element that you are out of touch. And if that's the case, there still may be some elements that you take into your life. Heat, hot water, light, electricity. That's not, I would say, germane to just survival. It's the extra layer of, and this. It's true, like I only drink black coffee, but with sugar. But there you go. There's a little extra. At some point in time of our lives, in the history of man, somebody found out about making sugar. Somebody found out about processing coffee. There's all these things that had to happen that now we just need or want, right? Service versus convenience. Status quo. So, the other day, I went to Wawa. And I'm just going to say, because look, I'm saying lots of names today. I'm saying all the stores, everything. There's no holds bars. No holds bars. I went to Wawa. I've been going to Wawa for about 20 years. I remember my first Wawa experience was with my husband. And I was like, what is this? What's this? What's this? I was with my husband. We went there and I couldn't believe this store existed. It was so ultra cool. And my husband was a truck driver. Maybe it was 18 years ago. He was a truck driver, and I was in the back of his truck, and he had a long run that night. He was like, we're just gonna do a quick stop, went to Wawa, and I was so impressed. Like, I was like, wow, what is this place? It's so awesome. And then I've been to Wawa's ever since, okay? Now I know about them. And I must say, some Wawas, I was like, what is going on in here? Who is your manager? But I don't want to be, I don't want to be that person, so I just keep it quiet. Put my order in, pay, go pick it up. Recently, I went to this Wawa in my new area. It was amazing. First of all, it was incredibly clean. And I was like, are they brand new? Like, how long have they been here? How long have they been here? It's not brand new. It was incredibly clean, 100% efficient, incredibly organized. I could not believe it. I was floored. In Ponciana, Kissimmee, Florida. Just FYI, in case y'all wondering where it is. On Pleasant Hill Boulevard, if that's the correct street. But not only that, my son spilled his chocolate milk. I was horrified. It was a moment of embarrassment. Not for him, but because now we're brand new in this store. And what we're going to do? So politely, I said, hey, I'm so sorry. There's a spill. This particular gentleman, like, literally jumped over the counter, ran to the situation, took care of it. The next time we went, we put an order in. This same gentleman was like, hey, your order, it's ready. It's for you, right? I'm like, how you know it's my order? He was like, it's chicken tenders. You got kids, it's yours. I was like, yeah, it is ours. Wow. I could not believe how incredibly fast that was. Then we went every single time we came. I said, oh my God, this guy is amazing. I was, excuse me. I said, excuse me, are you the manager here? Are you the manager? And this lady was like, yes, why? I was like, this gentleman right here is phenomenal. He should be a trainer across the land. She starts laughing. She's like, yes. And then she goes, he's my son. Just kidding. And I'm like laughing. I'm like, oh my God, he is phenomenal. She's like, I know. She gave me a survey. We left. I was like, I'm going to fill out this survey because this gentleman, you know what I did? I sent an email. Yes. With pen in hand. I was like, tap, tap, tap. Let them know. They got to know. Why? Why do they got to know? Why? When someone does an amazing job and you're sitting there, you're like, Lord, this guy's incredible. This lady's amazing. You got to tell their manager, okay? You got to say, excuse me. They deserve a raise. Raise him up. Why? Nobody's ever going to do it. And sometimes people know, hey, yeah, he's great. He's great. We know. But then people take you for granted. And I'm sorry, if you're listening to this, don't let people take you for granted, Carlos. I said your name, Carlos. You're amazing, Carlos. Great Wawa guy. You're going to do amazing things with your life. Let me tell you right now. So I had to shout him out. And you got to tell their corporate office because they need to know that there's an elevated level of service from this store. And you know what? Other stores going to bring it up a notch for him. Is that going to put a hardship on anyone? It might. Is that going to increase the level of competition? Sure will. Will that make your customer experience better? Yes, it will. Will that create prices increases? No, it won't. Everything will continue to go conveniently for the level of service within the status quo. So why not? Why not? Have I ever been in a position where I've had a bad experience and I told the yes, I have. Yes, I have. Many times. I feel you gotta use your voice and speak. Now I don't have to stop the store and make a whole spectacle. I just do it on the down low. Hey, listen. FYI, your milk is only spoiled at this particular location of a particular coffee brand. But anyway, but it's part of what you need to do for society, believe it or not. Listen, some of you who listen to this are like, oh my God, Fanny, it's all P-A-K-A-R-E-N. But let me explain to you something. When you turn 26 years old, do me a favor. Please If you heard this speech from me, let your people know. When you turn 26 years old, your cerebral lobe in the front of your brain develops. And all of a sudden, me is not very important. And everyone becomes astoundingly important. And you become aware that you have people around you all the time doing things for you that you never realized before. Like your mother, your father, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your manager, the bodega guy. Like you, all of a sudden, you can't believe how many people do everything for you. And then all of a sudden it's not the Truman Show. It's not all about you. And you can't realize it. Like just the other day, you were 25, you didn't know. Now you're 26, you're like, oh my God. What about the Dolphins? I swear to you, when people turn like 26, they're like, oh my God, did you know about the Tigers? And I'm like, oh, how old are you, 26? Okay. Think about it. Think about your children. Think about your brothers and sisters who just turned 26. Think about like, oh, I have to save for better man. All of a sudden, there's a social awareness that comes over you because that is the cerebral lobe that just developed in your brain. You will notice that if you have insurance, like medical insurance on your parents, you are legally their responsibility, even if you're an adult, until you're 26 years old. Why? Because when you're 26 years old, hello, everyone knows. It's been proven that now you are truly an adult. But at 18, I'm at war. At 21, I'm drinking and smoking. Those are the laws. Those are the laws that govern the land. The reality of your brain is when you're 26, you're an adult. I got married at 22. I married my husband at 22 years old. When I look back, it was the best decision for me. When I look back, it was the decision I made at 22. If I can go back and do the same thing again, would I? I would. Because I love my husband. Okay? What do I tell the young people in my life? People, travel, buy those shoes you want, get that Louis V, live. Do not marry at 22. I tell everyone I know now, don't marry at 22, marry at 32. Have a baby 34, 35. It's a different life. Now I can see, okay, you know what? There's things that you want to do in your life that you should do before you marry. Now, some people say, but I want to get married. I want to do it. Then do it. Do it. When they turn 26, they're going to be like, You'll notice there's a higher divorce rate around the ages of 25 to 26. 27. People are like, wait a second. What did I done do? Think about it. People that marry after usually stay together longer. Right? Isn't that kind of interesting? It's a little interesting. Me and my husband, we love each other thoroughly and truly and true and true. And he ain't going nowhere. Anywho. What is the last thing that you really splurged on? And what is the last thing you really saved on? Ask yourself why. Why did I do that? I love Amazon. Okay, a lot of you are like, oh, I don't know. I love it. Amazon Prime. Hello, Alexa. I love it. And Alexa's one of my favorite. Alexa, what time is it? Knowing I got a watch in my hand. Knowing I got a clock in front of me. Knowing I can see the microwave in sight. And it's analog. I can see it. It's not analog. It's digital. I can see it. Alexa, what time is it? Alexa's like, it is 5:45. How is your day? You know what I mean? I love her. Okay, I don't care. Fanny, she's tracking you. I hope she is. Somebody need to keep track of all of this. Okay? When people are like, do you really want people to know your geocode? Everybody know. If y'all don't know, I'm in Florida. If y'all don't know. Who? Fanny, what if someone's out to get you? It's like when I take a photo and they say, Fanny, you put your location on that photo. That photo was taken 2 weeks ago. Then I posted it. So you're really wondering what I was doing 2 weeks? Go find me over there 2 weeks ago. Go ahead. Fanny, what if someone gets your financial information? I hope they pay those bills out. For real. College loans start there. Okay. I'm not worried about those things. Some people are. And God bless them. Conveniences versus service. Okay, that Alexa to me is my service. And I like Prime. So one day I was on Amazon Prime and I got a notification because I also use Rakuten. And they were like, this is cheaper here, but in 5 days. If you pay the $1 now, you get it today. I was like, well, I'm going to need this today. Boom, put the order through. Got it. Did I need it? It is still in the box. I ordered an iron holder to put in the wall. The iron holder came that day. Could you believe it? By the way, I gotta tell my husband I need him to install that. Still sitting in the box. 3 days. I could have saved $1, but I didn't. Think about that. That right there is something funny, right? You wonder, what is that about? I didn't need it right now, but I got it right now. Convenience versus service. This is how your brain thinks. Which is more valuable? To have it in your possession and let it be yours. By the way, I pay cash, so if y'all wondering, I'm good with my money, thank you. For y'all wondering, did you need that? Are you ironing anything? I'm not ironing. I have an iron. And my laundry room, I wanted it in there, and I'm tired of it sitting on the thing there, and I want it on its own little ironing spot like I had in my old house, and I just wanted it now. You see what I'm talking about? These are service items. This is levels of service. Prime is a service item. Is it also a convenience item? Yes, it is. It does provide. Now here we go. Remember I spoke about Shein being service? This is now being, convenience. Well, Prime is service. It provided an instant item at a reasonable price. Could have saved $1 somewhere else. Immediate. Understand? That is the level of service it provided. The service I got here, I was willing to pay for. Whereas the service in Shein, I was willing to pay for the convenience of the price. You need to understand these differences because these impact you every day. Now, all of you are like, oh my God, the tomatoes. Or all of you wondering or worrying what you have. I mean, don't get too worried about it. Everything pretty much is practical nowadays. Everything pretty much is accessible nowadays. Some things aren't. They're like medication. Like there was an iron shortage about 2 months ago. I could not find iron anywhere. And I need iron. I'm anemic. But the type of anemia I have is if I don't have iron in my system, I can't even get out of bed. You understand? And it was iron shortage. So then I saw iron. I bought a whole bunch of iron. Now I have my iron. I'm good. Was it excessive? Did I need to buy it? For me, it's a health concern. So I rationed it or rationalized it with convenience and service where I need it and I want it on hand. I want it on person. Okay? That's like me and my chapstick. My chapstick, I buy 2 at a time. I keep one in the car, one on me, or one in my bathroom because I like to have, soft lips. Soft, supple lips. There was a bit of a chapstick shortage, but I was okay. I was okay with it. I'm good. Thank you. I'm fine. The difference there is how do I rationalize what is something that is high level, something that is absolute. These are things we deal with also, and we have to figure these things out. I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm just going to tell you about these things and see what you think. I mean, the other day, I had a whole list of things to do, and I did all the things I needed to do. At one of my stops, for the funniest thing, it was the weird. I won't say the store name. I'm not gonna say the store name. They followed me all throughout the store. They thought I was stealing, and I was slightly offended. I really was. Maybe I was more than slightly offended. I was straight up offended. And the guy that is the greeter, he wasn't the one that accused me of stealing. It was the guy that was following me. But at the end, they realized, oh, she wasn't stealing. But why was I targeted? So, I talked to my husband. I was like, why was I targeted? Like, what? Me? Like, let me tell you something. I would never steal. First of all, I can't live with that. I can't live with that on my conscience. I just can't. Now, I'm going to tell you the story that I told my friend the other day. We went to a pet store once, and my son took a whistle. We went home. I realized he had the whistle. I drove back half an hour later to return that whistle. The lady was like, are you kidding me? That's $0.25. It's not even a big deal. Don't worry. I was like, can I pay for it right now, please? Let me get some of these dog treats. I'll take this and that. And I left. I felt so crazy. Like, I can never do that. My mom said the worst thing you could ever be in your life is a liar and a thief. I was like, really? She's like, you could be a murderer. There's reasons for that. You could be a drug dealer. There's reasons for that too. But a liar and a thief thing is unacceptable. Now, I don't know the logic behind why my mother felt that way, but it was such a strong impression. I, to this day, cannot accept liars and thieves. I cannot, will not accept it. So when someone does something, I immediately why are you lying? I get very oh God, you are -2 in my book. There's no reason. Don't worry if I judge you. Don't worry what I feel about you. Always come with the truth. Don't sugarcoat things for me. Just be truthful with me and I can respect you. I don't want to be surprised. Just come with it. Now, at the store, I was like, why did you think I was stealing? And what happened was they had all these shirts on sale. They were $1 or $2. Okay. And I bought a whole bunch of them because I have 3 sons and they're different sizes. So they were like, well, we didn't understand why you bought all these different shirts, the same colors, different sizes. Because they're on sale, $1. Anyway, so I was like, oh, because now I'm here explaining. Oh, because I have 3 children. I'm like, wait a second, I'm going to explain that to you. I didn't steal. And then, in contrary to your belief, I spent a good $200 here. Look at my receipt. Hello. Not that how much you spend should matter. But my husband was like, maybe it's your tattoos. Maybe you came in the store looking a little frumpy. Like she ain't got no money. Maybe they were judging you. Don't take it. And the thing is, I took it personal. Because at that point, it was a level of convenience. Not service. I literally went there at the convenience of going to that particular location and buying things that I knew would be conveniently cheap. Okay? So that kind of offended my aura. And then I realized as I got home and I realized one of the items is the wrong size. And now I have to go back and return it. And it's a $2 item. Do I just keep it? Do I keep it? Oh, whatever shall I do? I'm going to return it, of course, and I'm going to exchange the size. I'm just going to, buck up, buttercup, you know what I'm saying? But I feel a certain way. And now, if I ever decide to go to that type of store ever again, I will go to one that is further away, which is an inconvenience. You understand? You saw that right there? I don't think after I do this return, I'll ever go back to that location. Because, first of all, don't categorize me. Don't put me in a little level. Don't judge me. Don't, what's that word? Stereotype me. Assuming when I worked in retail, I always knew who was stealing. It was always the person that you would least expect. Now, if you're saying that I'm stealing because I have tattoos, come on, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Obviously, tattoos are expensive, okay? And we're not talking about this today, but I'm gonna quash this right here. When you see someone and they have tattoos, and you're like, oh, and you think ghetto trashy trailer, my dude, you need to reevaluate. Money. Tattoos are not cheap. They're very expensive. Honey. Hello. One of my tattoos, which is the size of a quarter, was about $50. My largest tattoo that I have, you know what? All of you can be mad at me and I don't care. About $1,500. Okay? Get over yourselves. Those are expensive. You need to be able to plot and think. Now, sometimes you get a jail tattoo. Let me tell you, being in jail was expensive on your life. Think about that. Time over money. How many years were you there? You were locked up? 20 years? Time is money. That's expensive. That's an expensive lock away. That's a very expensive tattoo. Imagine how much the taxpayers paid when you were in jail. That tattoo, let alone how nice the detailed Betty Boop is. God bless you. That teardrop in the true blue color. Where did you even get those colors? That's a very expensive tattoo. Much respect. There is no disrespect here. I don't judge anyone with a tattoo. I don't care if it's all over your face. I personally won't tattoo my face because it's a work of art, period. Anywho, who drew a mustache on the Mona Lisa? But anyways, so it's convenience versus service. So don't judge me by that. Elevate me by that piece of art. But anywho, so we are rambling and I need to turn this around back to where we were in the beginning, where we're talking about levels of service versus convenience and the status quo. If you want to save money and you do things that's inconvenient for you to make sure those things happen, do it. If you like to spend money and have the convenience, do it. They're both luxuries. Why? Those are both choices. Anytime you have a choice, that is a luxury to have a selection process. Fanny, you don't understand. I'm on a budget, so I can't go there, but you can. You choose not to. Therefore, that choice is your luxury. So if you want the most expensive bag, it may take longer for you to get it. Whereas if you have the money right now, you may just buy it. However, you may not pay your rent. You may not pay your car note. You may not pay your bills. Those are all your choices. Some people don't even have a choice for education for their children. Their children have no education. They're in areas where there is no education around them. And they still teach their children to read by candlelight. There's never an excuse. You got that? Got the message right there? In life, you are filled with an abundance of choices. How you choose may be lucrative. How you choose may cause consequence. But they're yours. Whether the convenience or whether the level of service. It's your journey. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of Fannytastic Life. Talk to you next time. Bye now. You know, man.